North Korea said both before and after the Inter-Korean summit last month that it will close down its main nuclear test site to prove that it's halting its nuclear weapons program. Now the regime has announced the specifics of its plan to close the site. It says the tunnels at Punggye-ri used to test nuclear devices will be blown up and all other related facilities taken down in a ceremony next week, and journalists are invited to see it happen. With the details, our Oh Jung-hee is standing by at the Unification Ministry in Seoul. Jung-hee, so fill us in on this latest announcement by North Korea.
Devin, the data is finally out. North Korea's foreign ministry issued a statement last night and announced a specific schedule of when and how it'll dismantle its northern Punggye-ri nuclear test site. Take a listen.
A ceremony for dismantling the nuclear test site will take place between May 23rd and 25th, depending on weather conditions.
The regime also gave out a very specific sequence of how the demolition will occur. Pyongyang says explosives will be used to collapse all the tunnels at the test site. Entry to the site will be completely blocked, and the observation facilities, research institutes, and guard units will be removed. As all this takes place, guards and researchers will be taken out, and the surrounding area will be completely shut down. And to show this transparently, the North says it'll invite journalists from overseas for on-site coverage, but the invitation is going out only to those from 5 countries: South Korea, the United States, the United Kingdom, China, and Russia. Pyongyang said that's because of the test site's small space. The regime says it'll provide the press with accommodation, chartered flights from Beijing to North Korea's eastern city of Wonsan, and special trains to move from Wonsan to the test site. A press center is also to be set up so journalists can file their reports.
Right, Jung-hee. Well, on the face of it, this would be an important step in the denuclearization process. But how is it being seen by North Korea watchers around the world? Would it be fair to say that this is a move to set up a positive atmosphere going into next month's talks with the U.S.?
Yeah, that's right. Experts say this action by the regime clearly shows a firm will to denuclearize, and that's especially because once this site is completely demolished, then it'll be difficult for North Korea to find another spot with right conditions to replace this nuclear test site. The U.S. has recently told the North that if it completely denuclearizes, it'll be able to achieve economic development and even prosperity. And so the regime may be wanting to give out a clear sign that it's denuclearizing and request that the U.S. take sincere steps in return. But what we have to note is that even though the North has a fairly specific plan to destroying its main nuclear test site, it hasn't said that it's inviting over any experts from overseas, unlike its initial announcement a couple of weeks ago. The White House, though it has welcomed Pyongyang's announcement, has long stressed that the key to denuclearization is a detailed inspection and verification involving international experts. Devin.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Oh Jung-hee at the Unification Ministry in Seoul.